A little bit of a different update this time. We'll certainly in the next little while have some updates on what's been going on more recently in the financial markets. But this is an update about our annual reports, which have just been released. And the annual reports are meant to augment our normal quarterly reporting cycle and other updates just like this one. The natural question is, annual reports, so what? But we just thought we'd spend a couple of minutes speaking to a little bit of what's in them, why they matter for investors, or rather why we think they matter. The first thing is to remember that the investors in our funds are shareholders in companies. Each fund is its own company. And each company has an annual external audit. In the case of all of our funds, the year ends are September 30. So the last several weeks, all of those audits have been completed. Financial statements have been done. And it's an important part of the investor protection regime that we have in Barbados as it relates to investments like this. So, number one thing that's in the annual reports, financial statements. There's full listings of all the holdings in all the funds. So if you're curious, you can certainly have a look at those. There's additional commentary from us on what's been going on in the funds, what we expect for the future, and how the funds are positioned and why. In addition to that, as many investors in the Caribbean Growth Fund, for example, know, we have positions in other funds, other Fortress funds, as a way to accomplish some of our U.S. exposure. So some of the largest holdings in the Caribbean Growth Fund are the Fortress U.S. Equity Fund, International Equity Fund, and so on. So again, if you want to dig deeper, you can see what's inside those underlying funds for more information. So that's kind of the short version of why annual reports might matter if you're interested. If you don't want to read them, the quick highlights for the year ending September 30. It was a positive year as of that date for all of our funds. I think it helps that September 2023 was a bit of a low point in financial markets, so the one-year returns were naturally quite high. All the Fortress funds, we're happy to say, combined, first time our net assets were over $900 million. The best performing fund in our stable was our U.S. Equity Fund, which was up 27%. Our World Growth Fund, U.S. Dollar Fund, also was up just under 24% for the year. Our flagship Caribbean Growth Fund, powered largely by these returns in the international and U.S. holdings, up 12.4% 1 year. And as many investors who've been in there since the beginning will know, that fund has compounded at just under 8% per year since it started back in 1996. Bond funds also gained well in the year. Our Caribbean High Interest Fund was up just under 7% for the year, and our World Fixed Income Fund in U.S. dollars was up just over 9%. The Caribbean Pension Fund assets reached a new high of just over $400 million, $434 million to be exact. So some really nice progress over the year. Also in the reports, our outlook. And we think the outlook is positive, but it's not positive everywhere. The first step is that we think bond yields are still pretty good in the U.S. market, and that returns from bonds looking forward should be pretty good. In terms of global equities, we think it's a tale of two markets. Some of the largest U.S. stocks are some of the most expensive, and we think present an area of vulnerability for the overall market. The kinds of areas where we focus, better value, more global, so more investments outside the U.S. as well as within the U.S., we think they still have good prospects, but we really would distinguish the prospects for that subset of the market from the broad market itself, as well as, again, those higher priced U.S. technology shares. So we will be reporting on Q4, which has been going on the almost last 3 months. Definitely been some ups and downs. I think on balance, it'll probably a little bit net down, but we'll be reporting on that in our regular updates and quarterly reports soon. So with that, I will say from all of us at Fortress to all of our clients, all of your families, we wish you the very best for the holidays and a very happy new year.